We can run basic planes. Zeratos says run some curse catchers. We could. Maybe 3 islands so I can cast Patron Wizards against Wasteland lists. I don't have any more pretty ones, but I'm with you. I have some Zendi full arts. I mean, Caracas is pretty heavy. It doesn't help cast Patron Wizard. It has some favorable interactions, obviously, with Vendilion Clique and Venser, but Riptide Laboratory can do the same just for a little bit more expense. Although, of course, this is taps for colorless. So, actually, the Caracas is lighter than the Riptides. Actually, might have been too many Riptides I picked up. Maybe it's a 1-1 split and we still run a Plains. Actually, I have some really nice classic Plains. We're going to go with the matching ones. Full art's fun, but I have some really nice classic arts that I like. That'll match the Riptide border. Where are the islands? We went with these. 1, 2, 3. Tarkter says run a Magus of the Moon on the board. Yeah, that'd be spicy. A Magus could get people, as we were doing with the other deck. It would be unexpected because we look like we're blue-white, for sure. This would be unexpected. I wouldn't expect that. Maybe over the 4th Swords to Plowshares, you main deck the Umezawa's Jitte, or you main deck another wizard. You could run 2 main deck Medley Mages. It's decent, especially if we identify what our opponent's playing immediately. Main deck the Magus? Yeah, you could steal games with it. You can steal games with it. I mean, like maybe the Magus of the Tabernacle is just too cute. I like this effect, but this might be unnecessary. It's certainly powerful against elves, whereas Staticaster might not be able to keep up with elves unless you have it early on. Like Magus can do some work backtracking. That's probably too many Swords to Plowshares. Goblet says it's this land still. Son of something! Science rules. Thanks for the follow, Reno. So what do we actually need to purchase for this initial version? We need a Caracas, Patron Wizards, Megara, and Magus of the Tabernacle. And we can build this. Okay. We just were given a bunch of generous tickets, so I'll try to get this through Card Hoarder. Earlier somebody said that I wasn't doing it correctly or something. They suggested that I put in an order and then a bot should trade with me pretty quickly. Caracas. We'll go with the cheapo Caracas. I know it bothers some of you. It's going to bother me too, but it's the least expensive one. We already have some foils in this list, don't we? No, I don't. But it wouldn't bother me. Actually, the Venser is foily. I mean, I prefer this Caracas, but there are ones that are just... all those are unavailable. Never mind. This is the cheapest version right now. So let's add a Caracas. Patron Wizard. Thanks for the tickets, guys. It helps me just... It really does help. Patron Wizard are really cheap right now, actually. Wow, they're only half a ticket? That's absurd. Card has potential. I'd like to run more Wastelands. I actually have a 3rd Wasteland, but it's mismatched and it's borrowed. Let's get one Magus of the Tabernacle in here. And a Mangara. Mangara of Corondor. Oh, she's super cheap. What? Mangara's super cheap? Give me a playset. How can I not have one of those already? Mangara. How can I not have a Mangara? That's such a card that I would so brew with. So 5 tickets. A little bit over. see what you guys are saying. Might have a Magus of the Tabernacle to trade you. Let me check. Is a Magus of the Tabernacle counterproductive for this style of deck? Yes, but it might be the only way we can take on Elves game 1 and some of the other archetypes. You could run the Staticaster instead, main deck, and not run the Magus at all, and just hope that you kind of catch up with a Staticaster. Tabernacle also makes it easier for against creature decks. They have to pay for their creatures, and then it's like, well, can you also pay for my patron wizard? They probably won't be able to pay for both. They'll have to pick and choose. Either they keep their creatures or their spells resolve. And you know, creatures are spells until they hit the board. Oh, and it goes for all permanents, so. The deck actually curves a little differently than I like. The curvature of the deck is different than this. It's actually more apt. It's more accurate like this. It's actually looks like the curvature of the deck is actually more like this, with the finisher being master. But we could also just lock somebody out with some of these other pieces. So it's actually heavy on 3s. In reality, it's heavy on 3s. You could argue that the Aether Mage has some applications at 2. If you're just trying to get more wizards in play for the patron, this will flash in. Digitotes says moving into Legacy. We've been in Legacy. My last stream was primarily Legacy. I still, in some ways, no offense to Modern, I still very much enjoy Legacy. What about Hibernation? Death Shaman wins games by itself. Oh, you mean the deck? I mean Patron Wizard is just all-encompassing. We don't have to have multiple pieces of wizards to perform a counterlock. What's the wizard count at now if we added the Magus? It's actually higher. 14, 15, 17? 2 Mutavaults. 17. I'd like to get it up to 20. Something that I've done in the past is I've done this before. Sideboarded. 1 Force of Will. It's a meta thing. And then you can main deck the Staticaster. Or you main deck a second Medley Mage. Like, this is main deckable, potentially. A second Medley Mage, because its Legacy is main deckable. And that'll boost the amount of wizards in the main. You have a Caracas if I want it? Sure, man. I'm always down for donations. Caracas would be sweet. Thank you, friend. Trade me, it's Spawn of Virtue. The account. Or you can give me your account name and I can trade you, friend. Yeah, either Staticaster or Medley Mage in the main would be neat. I mean, you could be if you get technical, Staticaster and Magus do different things to a board state. Magus deals with a lot of different named creatures. Staticaster deals with everything with the same name. Crocus Fencer. What about Metamorph or Image? You could win bin. Image would give you another copy of Wizard. I don't hate that idea. Dude, thanks so much for the Crocus. Thank you. That's a big deal. You guys might not think it's a big deal. I think it's a big deal. Thank you. Crocus ain't cheap. Awesome. It looks fine to me. Thank you. So let's go. Alright, it's updated. So this one less card I have to purchase. I like the idea of a clone effect for the Patron Wizard. Yeah. Phyrexian Metamorph. Bucky wants me to run Dark Confidant. Brew. What's up, MTG Master? Isn't Crocus actually cheap because of the starter deck? It might be. What about a Metamorph? Wait a minute, I just thought of something super spicy. See you, Z-Dog. Zach, have a good night. I'll reach your thingy. The thing you sent. We were looking into getting a mirror entity anyway, weren't we? A changeling? What about that to close out a game? That's a wizard. That might be spicy. What about Magus of the Moat for elves? The only problem is then I can't attack either. Well, we could set up a board state where we have lethal. Well, Magus of the Moat means they can't attack without flying. I have flyers. We have flyers. We have flyers. This seems super spicy. Wow. In Legacy, that's actually... Moat's actually played in Legacy. That might just be way better. Holy crap, you're a genius. And we have a flyer. Or two. Right? How many flyers do I have? Is it just Vendilion Clique? Well, even just one flyer beats elves. I mean, as long as they don't kill the Vendilion Clique, you're fine. We do have a flyer, though. You only need one. You only need one. Although if they have a bunch of Deathrite Shamans gaining life, then... You know, that's a thing. That's cool. Oh, Mirror Entity could pump up the jam on the Vendilion Clique, though. Magus will die to Bolt and Sword, though, says Rogue. Overmaster says run Sower. I like the Sower. The Sower is super sweet. XSV says it's way easier to kill Moat. Yeah. We probably don't need the Mirror Entity. I like the idea of Sower. And maybe even Magus. That's another flyer. Let's see how this curves now. From an Aether Vial perspective, let's actually curve everything where it actually vials in. What about even Mind Sensor? Seems pretty decent in Legacy. Mind Sensor could be cool. Yeah, I mean, instead of the Council's Judgment... we can just have the Mangara take that place. Rogue says run more Snapcaster Mages. Please tell me we're looking at Legacy. Flyers that don't die to Abrupt Decay would seem important with Magus. Yeah, I mean, Sower would give us that flyer. Mind Sensor doesn't. One of these cards is sideboard material. Overmaster says Mangara is slow. She is. Yeah, I mean, she should probably be in the board. If we run her at all. Test it, tune it later, says Raphaelis. I kind of wanted to play it now. This deck's getting me pretty excited. I mean, like, the thing about Legacy is it's exciting. Just kidding. I don't hate Modern. I don't. I was jamming Modern for days. Hopefully you guys realize I like a variety of formats. Mangara, Magus, Ava Mind Sensor patrons. Okay. So let's cut the Caracas. Thank you. That makes the whole thing so much cheaper. I'm not sure about the Magus of the Tabernacle. We're going to cut it. What about Magus of the Moat? It's cheap. Relatively speaking. Ava Mind Sensor won't be. Ava Mind Sensor is 6 tickets for 1. Are we sure? That makes the whole purchase ridiculous. That makes the whole thing super ridiculous. Ooh.